Could go for something like the Zaya if you want to be able to avoid that public execution, but Varus does give you good poke. It allows the engage from the Qiyana to be a little bit stronger. You've also got the Chain of Corruption for that extra CC layering.
Yeah, and one of the things I just really like about it is that it has the ability to follow up on your frontline diving fairly deep, right? You know, if you have Qiyana, flashing in for an ultimate, sometimes you can hit that piercing arrow over the top, or you follow up, with the Chains of Corruption. You can have a very high amount of burst.
Feel confident, I imagine, in the 1v1, but yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a time waste for him. Could be looking towards BDD, though.
Gonna run towards that middle lane. BDD needs to get the hell out of here. Chovy's on the chase. BDD flashes and face plants in the wall. Gen G claim first blood.
And it's kind of a flip situation. This time it's KT trying to get access to that dragon.
Duro on that front line, the hook lands onto Peter. Kaz gets the root down, piercing arrow, again onto Duro as he falls low. He has to flash away, the knockback onto Chovy. Separates the fight. Drake secured by Gen G, double flash of the root still onto Ruler. Dokdam looking to put the arrows into the back of his enemy man. The Realm War back as Peter's getting onto that backline, but Gen G immediately turn and burn. But Canyon is the one who is aflame. Hero's entrance will not be a good exit for Chovy as now he needs to escape the clutches of KT. They've already lost 2. Gen G trying to get Ruler out of here as the chase down towards the bottom side. Chovy against Kaz has to burn the flash. Finds him still! KT come out on top.
Look at the spacing here from Kaz, how he actually plays out these next moments as they go back in. Chovy tries to find this re-engage, and then Kaz steps out, is able to just barely dodge this taunt here as he dashes out. Chovy tried to hit both, and they both just kind of back off on either side. He wasn't able to hit anyone, so Ruler gets chased down on one side. Kaz is able to follow through and get the kill there to take down Chovy, gets his ult, gets his flash. BDD is looking pumped. A mistake early in game 2 when you're already down 1 is tough.
And on the other side, how hype are KT feeling, right? Coming into this, as we see Peter look for the engage onto Duro, we'll get the trample down, the hook's gonna land as Kaz dives in. Supreme display of talent, the Nautilus falls first, but meanwhile the Crescent Guard from Cannon keeps him alive. Peter gets the knock up and a knockback. Ruler gets the shutdown though as 2 will fall. Gen G bite back in the game.
Yeah, that was not the fight to go there.
Overall, KT, although they had a bit of a stumble, still in a good position in this game. Rune Prison, Chain of Corruption for the chase onto Chovy, who doesn't have his flash back up. Exhausted, the Justice Punch will get him to safety. The hail of arrows, not enough to bring down the Galio. BDD still going to push in here as Chovy uses the Winds of War, misses the wave, backs away from the Herald, which will reset its patience in a moment. Chovy TPing in. The hook's going to land, though, as they look for Peter. Flashes in, headbutt pulverized, Supreme display of talent as well, but only onto Chovy. The redemption comes out as Ruler. Arcane shifts forward. He wants part of this fight. Canyon with the Crescent Guard. Chain of Corruption will lock him up, and it missed times as they go in. Ruler able to pick up one. Another hook coming out from Duro. The depth charge on the back line into the taunt from Chovy. Gen G rule the rift as KT can find nothing.
Gen G showcasing their incredible team fighting here. That was just immaculate. Early force on the ult from Peter.
Hurdo on the journey. Peter gets engaged on early, tries to re-engage, get value out of his ultimate, but not going to be enough. As the chase from Ruler in particular, the big point for me here, he is completely unmatched. Finds Peter, but then this hook, almost bending it around the wall. The follow-up from Chovy is great, and rightly so. Perfect Baseball, guys. I am not joining this fight. I am just going to make sure we get the turret, and I think that got them defeats as well. As KT, another setback. Now, that hasn't really been permanent when it comes to the setbacks. They've been extremely resilient, and we will see if they can replicate that in this Dragon fight.
Ruler now 2,500 gold ahead of his opposite man, already on his going towards his 3rd item as Dokdam only sits on 1. Perfect looking for the flank. The Drake begun. Hex flash forward. Canyon dives onto Peter. Ripteld has been summoned towards the top side as they go in for the fight. And we see KT able to secure the Drake, but Peter now needs to retreat. Perfect looks towards the top side, trying to distract Canyon. Peter falling lower. Down comes the anchor and sends him into the depths. Gen G find another. For KT, they got the Drake, and that's really all they wanted. Ripteld charges in. Perfect matches it. Should be able to kill it off. Duro with a good hook away, but BDD still on the chase. Depth charge! Arcane shift! Mystic shot from Ruler, but into the Supreme display of talent as KT turn it around. Canyon forced away as they chase forward onto him. Perfect finds another. KT turn around the fight.
And they do, and this is a split call, I think, here from Gen G, because Ruler going in that aggressive when there is no follow-up. Gene was basing. They clearly weren't expecting KT to play this heavily towards holding on to that mid lane pressure.
As they look to gain vision around it. Perfect looking for that flank, no wards where he is. Duro going in with the hook. Drake down to 6,000. Perfect still peeking his head out as they dive in. Canyon looking for the steal here, but it's Cuz that gets it. BDD forced to flash away. Here is Andres and Chovy in the pits. Keen diving forward. Ruler caught out by Perfect. Canyon falling lower as Cuz finds two. KT winning the fight on the bottom side, but the top side is all in favor of Keen. Ruler almost going down. Chovy still on the chase. Dogdam trying to get away. Perfect and Peter trying to protect him. The flash away from Dogdam. The taunt short from Chovy. Chovy falls. Only the top laners left alive, and Perfect will burrow his way away.
Back on top, there's no cooldowns, and you can see on the face of Cuz, he's feeling himself on this Qiyana. Giant gold lead here for him.
Yeah, Perfect's TPing already, but BDD is moving over. They are a little bit slow to join here, and Duro could just try to control this tri-brush. It looks like a difficult approach, and KT, they're going back for the red buff to try to buy time, but that's been spotted. They're too late now, it feels like.
Cuz might look for the steal. Baron coming onto the rift, but Genji already secured the Articon. KT backing away. Cuz still looking for that supreme display of talent, a game changer around terrain like this, but
We saw the damage he was able to output there as Genji gonna start off this Baron. I think trying to catch KT off guard. KT does know this is happening.
BDD's in the bot side, does have the teleport and will use it immediately to come up here. Was on a reset, instead TP's in. Genji with that Baron down to 6k. The hook's gonna land onto Peter. He pops the Unbreakable Will to try and walk away. Cannon goes in with the Crescent Guard, but they can't find the damage onto the cow. Perfect, chipping away at them from the bottom side. Chovy's still looking for chase. In the end, it's an Alistar ultimate, and KT disengage. They've got a single control ward, now a couple in that mid lane bush. Peter caught out with a hook once again as he has to flash away. Has the honey fruit to pop himself up as Ruler lands the damage across the wall. He couldn't see him! It was blind, and Ruler finds his man. KT now a man down, can't defend. The Drake secured, so point for Genji. Canyon and Ruler still on it. Cuz still looking for the steal. Perfect and BDD down towards the bottom side, distracting the rest of Genji. Cuz can jump in. The Winds of War from Chovy. Duro knocked up. Redemption out. Canyon almost falling as Cuz dives into the pit. There's no jungler there. Canyon goes in, and he manages to land the smite. KT now on the back foot. Public execution from Keen, not quite connecting, and KT turn and burn. Peter's here for a little bit more. The hero's entrance won't be quick enough to save his support. Perfect diving onto that backline. Chovy falling lower. Keen forced away towards the top side. Chovy with a stopwatch. Dogdam can't land. The piercing arrow through that. Flash away, the Realm Warp gets KT out, but Genji secure the Baron.
And then Cuz is on the Baron, but Canyon flashes back in, able to finish it off. That was so close. If KT walking away with that Baron, it is devastating for Genji. And then again, this re-engage this time from Peter was beautiful. Chovy comes through with the ulti, but Dogdam and BDD the whole time are just free-firing, getting so much work done in these fights.
And Dogdam just unchecked in any of these fights, as you can see, the KT coaches still.
How they're playing in this space, taking that over, sweeping out wards. Yeah, the Baron's gone, but you know that KT had been locked up in their base for so long that they haven't been able to get out on the map and reclaim vision. And Peter has been getting picked a number of times, and it could be a repeat.
Flash hook, immediately they look for Cuz, they'll take out the jungler. Ruler finds the kill, and now Peter tries to flash away, tries to get to safety. KT will shepherd him back into the base, but Genji don't even need to turn towards that Drake yet.
You know, but then it was Canyon going too far. It was the fight getting turned around. This time, they basically get a redo, and they do it perfectly. Dogdam jumped very low, and now you have to think.
And that's kind of a flex from Dogdam, right? Like being up.
Peter's going. Immediately they dive into Chovy. They have the Chain of Corruption coming out as well. It's going to land the Crescent Guard out as well from Canyon. Chovy falling lower. Perfect's on the flank. Lands a double knockup. Chovy needs to get out, and he will. A public execution slays the cow. Roast beef for Keen as he finds two. Dogdam will follow. Canyon dives back in. Flashes away. Still has the Angel to bring him back to life. And now Keen can advance, and Cuz can do nothing but flash and a try to get himself out. Keen will chase for days, though. Cuz forced down towards this blue side jungle. KT lose the fight. Genji, do you stick or do you twist? It looks like Baron is their target.
Yeah, Cuz still going to stay around, but it's going to be incredibly difficult for him to get in the area. He's hoping he can find a miracle to get in that pit. I mean, he has the sweeper. He knows he's not spotted, but he is now.
Ruler jumps immediately onto him. He knows his job here. They don't need the damage on the Baron, just force Cuz away. Can't quite hit the Mystic shot. Perfect hit, the TP in for BDD. Another TP to follow it as KT think perhaps we can take the fight after the big purple worm. Peter's here to join the fray, but Baron already for Genji. KT now back away. The Realm Warp used. True Shot barrage on Cuz. Almost takes him out. He's going to begin to bring in Genji, though, can still use the top side. Knock up onto Keen. He dashes away. The route onto Juro with the Rune Prison. Perfect, falling lower. Forced away by Ruler. Will be able to heal up in that passive. True Shot Rush dodged by Cuz, but not by Peter. A public execution onto the backline. The knockback onto Keen immediately. The redemption coming out as well. Crescent Guard BDD trying to get onto Juro. Will find it. The taunt onto Cuz. Keen dashing in. Knocked back under the tower, but Ruler untouched. Canyon untouched. Chovy untouched. And Genji marching down mid for the win.
And you know Ruler is calling for that. Pentine comes right now. Already picked up his double. KT, though, they're going to try and hold on. TP's going to come in. Baron buff still for another 10 seconds.
Reset coming out from Chovy. He's finished a neat death cap. The Rabadons for that extra bit of damage. The Nexus Tower's falling. Ruler and Chovy take the first. Keen trying to get this wave in for the second. Perfect. Dogdam and Peter need to try and defend, but Peter's already back in the base, just healing up on that fountain. The Nexus Tower falling lower. Ruler with a True Shot Rush can still arc and shift away from the oncoming Rek'Sai. The Nexus Tower will be taken. Keen behind them. KT trying to defend, but they just don't have the wallets. Genji will answer the fight and go 1-1 in the series.
Genji battling back here. KT kept the pressure on, but Genji are just too damn good. What a performance from Ruler in this one. Critical in their win. Start to finish, felt like he was ahead.